everyone, we are here with the topic the tissue and organ transplantation. So, what do you think? When is it needed? It is required whenever there is a damage in tissue or organ. It is mandatory to replace the damaged organ with the new for the better and proper functioning of the body. But there is a problem, and we all know about it, that when the foreign particle enters in our body, there is an immune reaction and the transfusion reaction. Our body, especially the B lymphocytes, starts making antibodies against the foreign particle, and the different antigens of RBCs that causes the transfusion reaction are also present in other cells of the body. Plus, each body tissue has its own additional complement of antigens. That's why foreign cells transplanted anywhere into the body of a recipient can produce the immune reactions. There are four types of transplantation of tissues or organs. The first one is autograft, which is from one part of same animal to the another part. The second is isograft, which is from one identical twin to another. The third one is allograft, which is from one animal to another animal of the same species. And the last one is xenograft, which is from a lower animal to human being, or from an animal of one species to that of the another species. Now let's study what happens in each case. In the case of autograft and isograft, cells in the transplant contains virtually the same types of antigens as in the tissue of the recipient, and will almost always continue to live normally and indefinitely if an adequate blood supply is provided to it. But in the case of xenograft, immune reaction always occurs. It also causes the death of the cells in the graft within 1 day to 5 weeks of the transplantation, unless some specific therapy is used to prevent these immune reactions. Some of different cellular tissues and organs that have been transplanted as allografts, either experimentally or for therapeutic purposes, from one person to another are skin, kidney, heart, liver, glandular tissues, bone marrow, and lung. Immune reaction occurs in this case too. Because of the extreme potential importance of transplantation, serious attempts have been made to prevent these antigen-antibody reactions associated with it. There's an antigen called the human leukocyte antigen, HLA, which is a complex of antigen. It is the most important antigen for causing the graft rejection. 6 of these antigens are present on the tissue cell membrane of each person, but there are about 150 different HLA antigens to choose from. Therefore, this represents more than a trillion possible combinations. Now, can you imagine? It is virtually impossible for two persons to have the same 6 HLA antigens. But there is a case in which it is possible. Can you guess? It is a case of identical twins. Development of significant immunity against any one of these antigens can cause the graft rejection. The best success has been with the tissue type matches between sibling and between parents and child. The match in identical twins is exact. So transplant between identical twins are almost never rejected because of the immune reactions. As we all know that prevention is better than cure. So let's discuss the prevention of the graft rejection. If immune system were completely suppressed, graft rejection would never occur. In fact, in a person who has serious depression of any immune system, grafts can be successful without the use of any significant therapy. But in the normal person, even with the best possible tissue typing, allografts seldom resist rejection for more than a few days or weeks without any use of specific therapy to suppress the immune system. Furthermore, because the T cells are mainly the portion of the immune system important for killing the grafted cells, their suppression is much more important than the suppression of plasma antibodies. Some of the therapeutic agents that have been used for this are the glucocorticoid hormone, which is isolated from adrenal cortex glands, or drug with glucocorticoid-like activity. It suppresses the growth of all lymphoid tissues and decreases the formation of antibodies and T cells. Various drugs can be used that have a toxic effect on the lymphoid system, and therefore they block the formation of antibodies and T cells, especially the drug azathioprine. Cyclosporine, which has a specific inhibitory effect on the formation of helper T cells and therefore is especially efficacious in blocking the T cells rejection reaction, and this has proved to be the one of the most valuable of all the drugs because it does not depress some other portion of the immune system. As we know that there are two sides to the coin. That means there are some consequences too for taking this drug as an immune suppressor. It often leaves the person unprotected from infectious disease, and therefore sometimes bacterial and viral infection become rampant. Here the chances of developing cancer increases because the immune system is important in destroying the many early cancer cells before they can begin to proliferate. The transplantation of living tissues in human beings has had important success mainly because of the development of the drugs that suppress the response of immune system. And with the introduction of improved immunosuppressive agents, successful organ transplantation has become much more common. The current approach to immunosuppressive therapy attempts to balance acceptable rates of rejection with the moderation in the adverse effect of the immunosuppressive drugs. Thank you.